Tell him they texted him and sent him the link.
He said Lakai's gonna send you a link.
No, tell him they sent him the link.
Oh, they
when he has sent
no,
Coach.
he has the link.
All right.
It's live. We're good with our guys. We're letting them produce the show, Dave. Let's get out right away. Thank you for joining us here on the East County Post Game week number 4. We're looking for winners, and we went up to the coast tonight to hook up with the Monta Vista. I don't know if they're back in Spring Valley, if they're still out after the game, but it was Monta Vista tonight, Dave. 22-14 winner over Coastal Academy, and it wasn't easy. But these guys are so clutch, Dave. The Monarchs, they trailed in this one kind of most of the way. We'll get the guys to give us the straight scoop on the win tonight. A huge win out there, Dave, against Coastal Academy. They handed them their first defeat of the season, 22-14. We've got Lakai Dean, he had a big interception in the game, and Derek Taylor came through big time. I'm going to need to get all the scoring from you guys. Great job, you guys. Derek, I see you and Lakai. Great job tonight.
Thank you.
Tell us what went on there with the game late. We know that we needed a fourth quarter comeback tonight. I'll tell you what I know, and then maybe you can help me fill in the blanks. We scored midway through the second quarter on a 1-yard rushing touchdown to grab the lead, 7-0. Derek, who scored that touchdown? The first one, the 1-yard rushing touchdown in the first half.
Bro, what are we waiting for, bro?
Yeah.
Can you hear me, Derek?
Yeah, we hear you.
Who scored the first touchdown of the game gave us a 7-0 lead?
Yeah, I think it was our backup quarterback. I had to go out for a play because my helmet came off.
Oh, really?
Our backup quarterback ran in for a touchdown.
Who? Tell us who it was. It sounds awesome.
It's Nate. His name's Nate.
Oh, cool. He stepped up big time for you there.
Yeah.
And then after that, Dave, the Stingrays came back before halftime with a 3-yard rushing touchdown, and the game was tied 7-7 at halftime. Coastal surged ahead in the third quarter. They took a 14-7 lead on a touchdown run, and minutes later, it appeared that they were going to be poised to extend their lead. But Lakai, what happened on that? Did they get actually inside the 15 or so, and you had the pick and ran it out to the 25? Can you tell me what happened with that key play?
Yeah, like I was just trying to read all the things that I needed to see and know if it was a pass or a run. And once I seen that, it just went so smoothly, and I got the ball and knew that what I had to do for my team to help them in a better situation.
Where did you pick it off at?
I think, was it like at the 10?
At the 10, and maybe ran it back a little bit?
Hello.
Let me see if Dave. So after that, after Lakai came up with that clutch interception, the Monarchs. Go ahead.
I was back.
We're getting back.
Okay. Hey, Derek. After that, you had a long pass. A long pass that set up that 4-yard touchdown run that gave us that 15-14 lead after Giovanni Lopez ran in the conversion. Do you remember the long pass that set up that short run?
Yeah, I remember that pass. I remember I threw it to my receiver, Rashawn Florence, and he broke some tackles and got us near the end zone so I could finish it.
How long was that completion?
I think it was about 20 yards. We were like 20 yards away from the end zone.
And then did you run it in on a keeper? Who scored the 4-yard touchdown run?
I ran it on a QB sneak up the middle.
Oh, nice. And then Giovanni gave the conversion run. Is that correct? And it was 15-14?
Yeah.
Hey, now after that,
yeah.
Let me get that. Yep, let me see. I got After that, we went for an onside kick. Now that's not unusual for you guys, but turned out to be kind of a key play. They went for an onside kick.
Can I hear?
Wait. It's getting hard to hear again.
Oh my god.
No problem, guys. You guys are doing a
No,
great
it's not
job.
even that. Like it's laggy.
It's hard to hear.
It's laggy, bro.
Okay.
Well,
I'm trying to make sure I keep
while they're figuring it out,
They lagged out.
while they're figuring it out, I'm gonna ask Dion. So Dion, last week you were one of the superstars to get it done and kind of close the door last week, and then you pretty much had a deja vu this week and showing resilience again in another trademark rally. Can you tell us about that? I mean, did you just take a page out of your playbook and copy it and do the same thing that you did last week?
Well, I mean, every game I just gotta trust your blockers. I mean, you got my center right here. We got Jonathan. Yeah, you gotta follow the O-line.
And since you're talking about your O-line, let's talk about their names and let's give them some kudos of what they were doing for you tonight and last week.
We got
Oh, we just might have lost the guys there, Dave.
Oh,
That was pretty great, though. Coming home from the game, it looks like they're riding home from the game. We'll give them a chance. We'll just leave them on there, and if we get back together with them, we'll cover it here. But I think what you were saying and then trying to get out of Dion is how clutch these guys have been. Time and time again, we're seeing these guys get these late wins. The defense actually, so after that, they got another touchdown. They punched it in late. After the big touchdown there that Derek talked about, his keeper, the 4-yard keeper, after the big 20-yard completion, that was 15-14. Then they got another touchdown to make it 22-14. And then Coastal, actually, here comes Dion again. Coastal got the ball back, and then we had to make one more stop on him, Dave, to seal that win. But Dion, Dave asked you, what makes this team so clutch? How do we keep pulling these games off? There's got to be a lot of veteran resilience in there from you guys, but it's a lot of drama, Dion.
I mean, honestly, I think we're doing really good. Our majority of our defense is all coming back from last year. We got a couple new guys. Yeah, we got 2 sophomores right now. We got Braden and Deshaun. That they're helping us on the defense. Deshaun, he had 3 picks. Yeah, Deshaun got 3 picks on the year right now.
and not to mention, how about that offensive line? Let's give some credit where credit's due. Maybe throw a couple of names out there and give them kudos for taking care of business.
We got Anthony, we got Josh, Jonathan, Peter, Ethan, and Kasim blocking for us up front.
Yeah.
And they're stretching the field for you. And hey, let's give credit to Coach Culver. I mean, stepping in after Coach Hamamoto had such a storied career, coaching forever, as far as I'm concerned. But Coach Culver is just, now he took over the offense too. And I mean, you guys are basically undefeated with, I mean, if it wasn't for that Kearney game and one play.
Yeah.
I know it was a great win, Dion, but what happened in that Kearney game?
What did you say? I didn't hear you. Can you repeat that?
I think Dave's saying, look, we love the way things are going with this team, but we're kind of steamed. I get you guys are steaming tonight coming off that Kearney game.
Ugh.
All right, might not quite be getting us there.
Yeah, we were just talking about the Kearney game. You guys would be undefeated if it wasn't for the overtime and 1 or 2 plays. I mean, that one probably stung more than anything.
Derek, I had to fire you guys up this week.
Yeah. Our coach gave us a whole speech about it, that without that game, we would be undefeated right now, and we should be undefeated because the only team that could beat us is us.
Hey, Derek, I asked Dion too, and maybe Lakai, what makes this team so clutch right now? I mean, you're giving everybody in the stands a heart attack, but you guys show so much poise every time, even when you guys were down. It seems like no panic in you guys.
Yeah, we've just been telling ourselves that no matter what bad things happen, we've got to keep going because in the end we will win. That we want that win.
We want to take it back home and just thrive and have a good time. And we all have a good chemistry with each other, and we know how to talk. And we talk at practice. We hang out outside of school, so it becomes more than just a friendship, more like a brotherhood. And we're all family on the team, and we lead and show through example and attitude, and we just go and thrive hard.
So really, you're telling me it's a way of life. I mean, you guys are going out there, and I mean, you're going to play the entire game, every snap, and I mean, it could be one play that wins the game, and you guys have been able to do. I mean, 49 points last week. Holy cow! I
Yeah.
mean, you guys hadn't scored that in a couple of games going back to last year, and you're on your way to possible league championship. I know it's early, but if you can win these non-league games, it says a lot about your candor and how you guys are gelling together prior to playing those league games. I think that's going to really set you up, and I'm sure Coach Culver has said the same thing, but he also probably says one game at a time. Every coach we talk to is pretty much one game at a time, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, we on the interview.
We're just gonna and besides and also too like every game that we play, we're just gonna keep getting better. So we're hoping for a league title.
Well, you're on your way. I mean, like I said, I mean, Ramona, myself, I mean, that Kearney game, that made us sick.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys played hard, and you guys should have gotten a win. But this one tonight was also a huge win to beat this team tonight.
Yeah.
A lot of people are expecting you guys to actually lose this game, but you know what? Sometimes that's what you need. That's the kind of they stir it up, get you guys all fired up, and then you take it out onto the field and get the dub.
No, yeah, we knew before this game happened that we needed to win this game because it could really hurt our chances at playoffs or even like our record because this team.
Well, yeah, because you got the points, the better the team, the more points that you actually get. So it's pretty vital, and I'm sure Coach Culver told you that. And, hey, hats off to him. He's really done a fantastic job taking over the offense, too, because he's a defensive guy. But, hey, he's giving you more passing. He's giving you a couple more where you can – and you've done really well this year.
Yeah, I really like that. We got to pass the ball more.
Hey, guys, who scored the last touchdown there after we kicked the onside kick? We went down and punched it in the final minute there.
That was me. I did another QB sneak.
Hey, Derek, can you share the load with these guys? You got Dion here. You got great backs, and we know how improved this passing game is. What's going on? You're feeling like Josh Allen or maybe even Jalen Hurts in there.
No, yeah, I mean, we just kept doing it. It kept working, so why would we stop?
Great job. Were you surprised when I know you guys use the onside kick, as part of the strategy of the game. Dion, were you surprised that Coach called an onside kick, try to get the ball back to keep it away from those guys?
To be honest, I wasn't that surprised because it was in the fourth quarter. We were only up by 1 point, so I mean, it couldn't hurt.
The defense was doing that good of a job that you guys didn't feel any pressure. Their defense, even though they got those early scores, the defense really cut them down in the second half, huh?
Yeah.
We just like to shut people out and hit them right in their mouth and go and play hard.
Yeah,
I like to rile the defense up and talk to them because those are my guys, and offense too. And just the whole team in general, I like to rile them up and keep them going, keep them with the same energy that I'm on. I'm down to win and I'm down to ride with all of y'all, so I expect the same.
Hey,
You know, and that's what we try to do was as far as press, we try to stir it up a little bit for you sometimes, maybe even pick against you so you guys will be fired up and take it out onto the field. So obviously that works. And I mean, let me ask you this. Do you think that this team is even better than last year's team was?
I honestly do think this team is better than last year's team because throughout everything and everybody thinking we relied on Alex and that was our main like person to go to, we still strived and went all the way to state. Even though we came short, we still went on and still had younger guys that are now here and juniors that came up with us, and we just all still have that chemistry and we keep going, and we're just trying to show out and show our talent and show how dedicated we are to the game and to the sport.
Well, Ramon and I say that, you know, at the beginning of the season, we said there's going to be 3 or 4 teams in that valley that are going to have a chance at getting the league championship. And as far as I can see, Santana lost to Olympian by quite a bit tonight. I believe it was 35-9. And West Hills, they lost a heartbreaker 19-16. And El Capitan's back on the winning, but they're over in the hills, so you don't need to worry about them. And Grossmont also won, but you guys are looking like, or lost tonight. Sorry, you guys are looking like the best team in the valley.
Wait, give us 1 second. We're gonna use this phone. This phone's about to die.
I think that we
Oh,
have
no
a good chance of winning league this year.
thank you, Dion. Yeah,
Uh,
go ahead, Dion.
yeah, I think we have a good chance to win league this year. I mean, we played a lot of them. We played all of them last year. But they got some new guys, but we had a lot of young talent last year, especially on our defensive end.
Yeah, and I think that was the point, right, Dave? That maybe these guys are so clutch in some of these games because of the experience that they have from the championship. They were a young team with a state playoff run there, so I think that's what makes them so clutch here right now. And they'll get a chance next week, Dave, in a non-conference game against those El Capitan Packers. Actually, they did win tonight. Dion, they beat Bonita Vista, so they're riding a 2-game winning streak to go in and face them next week. And we played them last year, so we know we're familiar with the Vaqueros.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we play El Cap next week. I mean, I guess we'll see how that turns out. I think we have a good chance of beating them.
Yeah, and I'm sure because, you know, Coach Culver, he is a defensive guy, you know, and I think and talking to him every week, he has great things to say about you guys, that you're improving every week, and you're very focused. And when he's practicing with you guys are, I mean, you're in there and you're following his lead. You are focused. You're locked in, and I think that shows on the field when it's game day.
100%.
For sure, Dave. Great job by the Monarchs. Thank you, Dave, for getting them. And Lakai, who was hanging out over your shoulder there? He wanted some FaceTime. You got a teammate? Did you have someone there?
Who was it?
It was Marty.
It was Marty Galapa.
One of our linemen.
One of our linemen.
Oh, great job by the line for sure. And I love that. You know, I used a picture from last year, Lakai, earlier this week. And I know it's probably one you've seen before. But look what happens when I do. You know, the one where you made the heart. It's a great picture. They hit the heart, right? But look what happens on my computer when I do the heart. Let me see if I can do it. Oh no! Look at this. Love you guys, man. Great job to come on with us tonight to celebrate the victory over Coastal Academy. And good luck next week against the Vaqueros. Did we miss any great highlight, guys, that you could pass along from a player who needs to be recognized?
Oh, we got Deshaun in the car with us right now. I think he had a great game tonight.
You had a pick.
He had a pick, yeah. Him as well, he had a
Another
pick.
one?
Yeah. It was like
we need to give
maybe the first half.
Deshaun, you there?
Yeah.
You ball hawking again?
Yeah.
Tell me about your pick tonight.
Well, I just read the quarterback eyes, followed the ball motion, and I knew he was gonna throw it up.
Why are you always in the right place at the right time? It's early in the season. You got 3 picks in 4 games.
In 1.5 miles.
Yeah.
They put you in the right position. You just know where to be.
I just know where to be at the right times.
Yeah,
He's just
and
a
that's it.
sophomore.
There we go. And
I
and that was
remember.
one thing I was
Kai's
gonna.
coaching him up, I think he's saying.
It is. Hold on.
That was the one thing I was gonna mention to all you guys is there's more veteran leadership now on the team too, and then learning from last year, and then getting that opportunity to get for the other team to get bumped out, and for you guys to get a chance to go forward. And boy, did you guys show the world. I mean, let's just put it this way: Fallbrook was probably your toughest opponent, I would think, even though they hadn't won any games, because
Honestly,
of the type of teams they.
Honestly, last year I think our toughest opponent was Hoover because when we were playing when we were playing Fallbrook, it was a close game, but we had the ball on the 1 yard line. We could have ran in, but Hoover, it came down to 4th and 20. That was a real close game.
Well, we're looking. You guys are looking good for a league championship. I mean, I wish we had that Curdy game back, but you got to move forward. You got to forget it and move forward. You got a couple more games, and what do you feel? What are you guys all feeling against El Capitan for next week?
I'm just looking to get prepared for league. I think we should treat them as a league game. They were in our league last year, and we should know what to expect.
I agree with Dion 100%. We
Derek?
should treat them as a league game. And we should know what to expect going into practice and just keeping our heads up. And this game happened, and we're happy about the win. But we're gonna go ahead and get focused on our next win and try to ball out.
It was a clutch win tonight.
Oh,
Great
yeah.
job, guys. Appreciate it. That was awesome with the Monarchs tonight. All right. Dave, thanks for getting them. Lakai Dean, defensive star extraordinaire, Derek Taylor, ball hog, catch every touchdown. Great job, Derek. We love you. And Dion, keep on running in that tradition of the Monarchs, man. We know that it's about that line, but you got to have the man behind. And we know how to do it Monarch style. Thanks,
And you guys were the biggest. You guys were the biggest win. A lot of teams dropped. Some bigger teams like Granite Hills, they lost to Mission Hills. Rosemont lost as well. West Hills. So there was a lot of losses in the East County, but we saw that Monte Vista put up the best game tonight. So
yeah, so thank you guys. Thanks for winning for us.
Thank you for having us tonight.
Thank you for having us.
Let's do it again. Let's do it again with another Monarch victory.
Let's do it next week. So let's take on those vaqueros and let's make a statement.
Oh, for sure. Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
all right, guys.
Great job, and you pulled it together for us. You really pulled it together with those phones. Appreciate it.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Great
Have
job.
a good night. Celebrate.
Dave, that was terrific, wasn't it? With the win tonight. I got my information that I need from the guys too. It shows you how key they are. They're totally in touch with the game and know exactly what's going on. So
that
great
Monte Vista team. Oh my goodness, did they surprise us anymore?
Oh, I mean, like I said, they just keep coming through, right? I mean, we know they've pulled off some of these close games before last year. We know they beat Crawford and Castle Park handily, but just remember those games, those thrilling games last season, right? They just would pull it out of their helmet. I don't want to say something too crazy there, but man, it just feels like they're clutch. And you got to think, we talk about now. Look. Grossmont and Monte Vista wouldn't just. I mean, look. I want West Hills. I want Santana to perform here in League Two, but I think I'm kind of narrowing it down right now to Grossmont and Monte Vista atop the valley.
Yeah, I'm. It's really sad to. I just thought for sure, and to lose. The games are getting closer and closer. West Hills just keeps dropping those heartbreakers, and I know that defense is playing lights out, and they just. Oh man, just to know that they're not getting it done is. That's got to be real frustrating for Coach Ash and his squad. But you're right. And we thought Santana was going to be right in there too, but look what happened tonight.
Yeah, we'll get to it in just a moment. Let's cover all the highlights now, Dave, from some of the games here tonight. Yeah, we have more losses than wins, unfortunately, to talk about here, but I got a win for you here right now. One of the biggest wins of the night in the county. Two top teams met here with ninth-ranked Mount Miguel. They leaned on their defense and timely plays to win over Torrey Pines at home with Loper at quarterback doing a great job, but it was A.J. Logan with big plays for the Monarchs tonight. Falcons struck first, converting on a 22-yard field goal in the first quarter, but the second quarter they had some big plays, and Loper connected with Arrington on a 38-yard pass to the 10-yard line. But Mount Miguel was having some troubles, Dave. They were having some mishandled snaps, some high snaps. It was only 3-0 at halftime. Torrey Pines was winning, but Mount Miguel broke through in the third quarter when Loper found Logan for a touchdown. The extra point put the Matadors ahead 7-3, and then the Falcons answered in the fourth quarter as their quarterback evaded some pressure, delivered a short pass to a diving receiver in the end zone. He just kind of scrambled. The Matadors pressured the quarterback, but he just stepped up and kind of almost like a shovel pass in a way. It was like a short arm pass, and the receiver was kind of in some traffic, but he fell and caught it there. But the Matadors responded, Dave, with a decisive drive, and Loper fired a pass to Logan, who hauled it in at the 5-yard line, then muscled through a tackler or two. They were trying to get him. He got the game-deciding touchdown there. The point after made it 14-10 in favor of Mount Miguel. The Matador defense sealed the win as they had a key sack late in the game on Torrey Pines' final drive, and the victory gave Mount Miguel its second straight win after that shutout of Loyola and holding Torrey Pines. Knew it'd be a defensive game here, even though we know Mount Miguel known for that scoring, but Torrey Pines is known for defense. And man, for Mount Miguel to win this one, and maybe up the ranks even a little bit here. We'll see what happens in the top 10 tonight, but it was a great win here for Mount Miguel.
Yeah, and that's what I'm wondering, and we're going to get to that game as well, is this might propel Mount Miguel up and Granite Hills down a little bit. We talked about it before. They could end up at Division I again and miss the Open. This was a key game. So, but Mount Miguel, congratulations to them on Torrey Pines. It looks like they really had to fight for this one.
Yeah, for sure. A great win there, actually, tonight for the Matadors over Torrey Pines. So looking good. Mount Miguel was clutch, let me tell you. All right, Dave, we just heard in the last few minutes here while we were talking to the Monarchs, it was El Capitan. Boy, Dave, you can put those 2 weeks of shutout losses behind them here. It feels like a little bit now as the Vaqueros have won consecutive games. They even their record at 2-2, defeating the Bonita Vista Barons 21-7 behind another stifling defensive effort. There's been no problem with the El Capitan defense this year, Dave. It was just getting the offense on track. Bonita Vista actually opened the scoring with a tip pass. It was intercepted and returned for a touchdown, giving the Barons a 7-0 lead in the first quarter. But then what happened? El Capitan came back, huh?
Yeah, and then you got, lo and behold, and I said it from even in that first shutout, Michael Castillo.
Wow.
I said he was going to be the one. I watched him the first game. I watched him the second game, and he had a 50-yard touchdown run. And then Yep, Logan Delia had a 40-yard touchdown catch, and Landon Bond recovered a fumble in the end zone for a touchdown. You see, like you said, there's that defense again that you've been talking about. Well, we've both been talking about how great it is.
Yeah.
Held them to negative yards total offense. Now, that tells me El Cap can really put together a string of wins, and they're going to be pretty tough. I think they're going to be tougher in the hills than some of these bigger teams think they are, like Helix, and we'll get into that. But I don't think El Capitan's going to be in the cellar. I really don't expect that to happen, especially with the defense that's shutting people down on the offensive side of the ball. They held them to the negative yards total. Bruin Ford, Bryce Benegas, and Todd Carter and Spencer Chastain have a great defensive game. And Lincoln Walker had an interception. This is all from defensive coordinator Sean McDade. Always a pleasure to get the information from him. But boy, it really, they're standing out on that defense. But hey, we got to give it to Castillo. I think they run him some more. Maybe they should, I don't know. Maybe they should start tossing him the ball. Maybe some dinks and dunks down there, open up a big pass. But right now, they're starting to gel again. They did something similar last year. They were on a little bit of skid, but I think they're right back on track. 2 games in a row. And I think they're going to win. I think they're going to win a couple of league games, and I think they still have a chance to that's going to be a great game. Speaking of that, after we talk to the Monte Vista Monarchs, I think that could possibly be the game of the week, to be quite honest with you. That defense, both defenses are phenomenal, and I think give the edge just slightly to to Monte Vista, and I think that's going to be the key to who wins that game.
Yeah, Dave, before El Cap, you mentioned Castillo breaking free for that 50-yard touchdown. That tied the game with the 4:14 left before halftime. Then Hayden Passanisi connected with Logan Dulea on a 40-yard touchdown. I thought I was reading the same highlights from last week.
I thought the same thing.
I was like, no, did they just send us? Were they just trying to get rid of us? They just sent us because Castillo had that big touchdown, and those two guys connected last week as well. So great job there. The 40-yard, it was either 35 or 40 yards, maybe from the coach there, and that put the host in front there. And you mentioned the Vaqueros with that finishing it off there with that score, that defensive score there. So I think the most interesting thing, Dave, about next week's game, if you think about it, between Monte Vista and El Capitan, you think about it, right? Yes, they were in the same league last season, but also they both were CIF champions last year. This is a great game next week.
I agree, and that's what I'm saying. I believe that both defenses are incredible, and I think that it's going to come down. Who knows? Maybe it's not even going to be the offense. It's going to be who wins the turnover battle or who creates the turnovers. I think it should be in the top 2 games of the week. If they won a game of the week, they after the Granite Hills game, they were talking about the Helix game next week. And hey, not to talk down at Helix at all, but I'm telling you, I think El Capitan and Monte Vista is going to be very entertaining. That would be the one you might want to throw up there.
Yeah, for sure. That one should be pretty good for sure. So a great job by the Vaqueros tonight. And boy, that was cool that we had Monte Vista and now El Cap here. And they'll play next week. And again, it's a non-league game, but it feels like it's kind of a grudge match a little bit, considering in last year, Dave, when Monte Vista played El Capitan won it at Monte Vista 38-27. to 21 in that game. So, okay, that's a good one there. I got one more winner here tonight, Dave. I don't have any information. It was out of town in Temecula, but Steel Canyon improved to 4-0 with a win over Rancho Christian. 42-14. Was hoping to get some information, but still a great job to Steel Canyon. 4-0 right now. No stopping them here, it feels like.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Kaha, I know you're going to say him next, and I know you're going to say he had a couple of touchdowns.
Yeah, no, we don't have anything from the game tonight. All we know is that they won on the road here in Temecula. I think they're heading back right now. I had a quick text exchange with Nico Yara, but we'll see if we can get any information before we get off the air here. I don't know, because we're about to get into the losses right now, and it's not going to last very long. But at least the first game, we're going to head over to you and talk about the Eagles tonight, losing to Mission Hills, Dave, 31-21. Pretty good game, no problem. Look, you're on the road. I know you went with the Eagles. I did go with the Grizzlies, but the Grizzlies obviously got a pretty good team, but I think the Eagles might be lamenting a few missed opportunities.
Well, here's the thing. I guess if you look at it, something's got to give. After you've beaten a team 3 times in a row, I think that that team really, I think they were really prepping for anything and watching film probably from the last 3 games that they played them and making some adjustments. They came out firing, I will tell you that. Granite Hills entered Friday night's clash with them, knowing the matchup carried a postseason feel, but the Eagles found themselves battling from behind after a costly early turnover and a 31-21 loss to the Grizzlies. I want to also mention there was, I know one catch for sure was in the second half, and it was a very crucial throw from Benitez to Noah Walker, and he did have both feet in the green, and he was not on the white at all. And they showed the replay 2 times, but hey, we're not in college, and we're not the NFL. So with that being said, we can't review it. But he definitely and it was a big play. I mean, they would have been close to the red zone. So I was a little upset about that, but we're not playing the officials, and I'm sure that's what Coach Cobbs would have said it as well. I mean, the night started on the wrong foot when Mission Hills Xavier St. John stepped in front of a sideline pass and boy, I knew it was going to be a long night. It was a sideline pass from quarterback Zach Benitez and raced it back for a pick 6 just 4 minutes into the contest. I was already saying, oh boy, that hadn't happened to Granite Hills yet this season.
Well, and it looked like a miscommunication of some kind, Dave, because the receiver looked like he started and stopped. Benitez had let the ball go, and the only guy there was St. John.
Yeah, exactly. And the other pick 6, same thing. I don't know what it was, but I think it might have even been Williams. He held onto the ball too long, and that gave more time to that DB to come up and just step right in front of the pass. I think if he would have, instead of waiting, I think if he would immediately, he saw him, and he was off to the left, and if he would have got rid of it quickly, I think that he would have been off to the races, or at least he would have gained a lot of yards. But Granite Hill tried to regroup, missed a field goal, and then that's the second interception that I'm talking about. Kept him in the chase mode for much of the evening. Despite the miscues, though, the Eagles' defense, as usual, stood tall with linebacker Davion Williams and defensive back number 26, each recording interception.
Jaden Tom, I think it's Jaden Thomas.
Yeah,
I'll
because
try to get.
Davion's the running back. But
Yeah,
they were
sorry
trying
about
to
that.
we're going to keep it within reach. Still, Mission Hills leaned on its ground attack, and you know what? The ground attack was fantastic. Um, I mean, I will say Williams got most of the carries. Benitez had quite a few. No huge runs, but he had a couple of 15-yard runs. Unfortunately, though, he was sacked quite a few times. A 7-yard loss in the second quarter, and then sacked again. And then like a lot of incompletions. But I think it was also because of the defense. The defense really played great as far as the uh, Grizzlies are concerned. They were ready for this game. Patrick Fleming finishing on a bruising drive late in the first half with
he's
a
a
4.
tank.
It was amazing. And I want to tell you, Fleming, all night, I can tell you right now, I got just in the first quarter, he ran for 6 yards, and then he ran for another 2 yards, another 6 yards, another 10 yards, 5, 7.
He was counting them.
Yeah, they were using him for pretty much all that, and then he had, even in the second quarter, 29-yard huge run and breakaway. So that guy, I think that running back is going places. He definitely led out of all the running backs, and we all know about Kuhn. He just tried to run it just once when he was in the red zone, and unfortunately, he's not Zach Benitez. He was swallowed up by that Eagle defense real quick. I think he lost about 3 on that. I think that was key, though, too. You got to make those chip shot field goals, and Granite Hills has usually been pretty good on making those. But they finally broke through midway for the Eagles after big receptions from Noah Walker. And like I said, it was that one, he had 2 feet in. They showed it twice. I think we got robbed on that one. And Zayden Smith set up a goal line chance. Benitez found the Rocket, Demery, on a 4-yard strike to trim the deficit to 14-7. But who I was just talking about, Penn State commit Troy Hoon, quickly answered for Mission Hills, lofting a 42-yard passing to a McKenzie to push the margin back to 2 touchdowns. And that they were playing from behind the whole time. Let's face it. Granite Hills refused to fold, though. I will say they played the entire game, and right down to the last snap, until the clock was at 0. Benitez connected with Walker for a 14-yard touchdown late in the fourth quarter. Then we get 21-14. Grizzlies sealed the outcome moments later. However, with the second interception's return for a touchdown to stretch the lead to 31-14, the Eagles added one more scoring pass in the closing minutes, but the comeback effort was, I kind of figured it was going to come up short. This defense, it's almost like they knew who they were going to go to. And I think if we would have stuck to the running game against this team in particular, watching the entire game and looking at the statistics that I got here, I mean, Benitez is, coming into tonight, was among the section's top passers. Even the commentators were talking about that. With the heavy pressure throughout, taking multiple sacks, I'm going to say he was sacked at least 5 or 6 times. Still managing, though, to keep his Eagles in striking distance with timely throws. And he's always poised. He sits back there. He's not afraid. He doesn't typically just throw the ball anywhere. That's why I was so surprised to see the 2 pick sixes. That's not like him. Walker and Demery both shined. as reliable targets, while Williams gave the offensive balance on the ground. He just gets better every game, I think. Uh, Granite Hills may have taken the loss, but the reigning Division One champion showed resilience against one of the Open Division's top contenders,
Yeah.
with league play still ahead. The Eagles remain firmly in the mix for another playoff push. This is what I worry about, though, is now they're going to play another tough opponent. They can't lose any more games or they're going to be in the Division One for sure. They will miss the Open. They might even miss it already.
Yeah, they might. Carlsbad did win tonight, so there was a matchup where Carlsbad beat Poway, so Carlsbad continued to win tonight. Lincoln did lose to Mission Viejo in a great game, but I don't think they're going to get dinged because Mission Viejo was expected to win, so they won 34-24 over Lincoln. So they're still probably going to be in the Open Division. I don't know, unless maybe there's three other undefeated teams. We'll see what Cathedral does, but they've got some big games as well. So just out of those top teams, though, La Costa Canyon won against an out-of-section opponent tonight, 28-14 against San Clemente. So that bodes well for them. Like I said, Carlsbad did win as well. So this one hurts. Try and just get focused to stay with the season here, Eagles, and let things shake out. They could still get back. I'm sure they'd rather play in the division, in the Open Division, but they'll be a top contender in Division One no matter what happens. So no problem there. But like you said, Mission Hills was a pretty tough opponent this time around, in comparatively what happened, last season. Like the Eagles had won the previous two meetings with them.
Well, something has to give. I think when you play a team that many times, eventually you're going to take one on the chin. I mean, and don't let the school or the score fool you. They were just outplayed. Period. But let's give Cobbs and his team and his staff. They did do everything they possibly could. They played hard. They went to the running game pretty often, and they had a balanced effort. They were just a great team.
Yeah, for sure. So they're a top 4 team, and we'll be up there for sure with the Eagles. Okay, great job. No problem, Eagles. We'll get them back here. Let's continue on, Dave, with another matchup of top 25 teams here with Oceanside. Took on Helix tonight and Oceanside. Yeah, they clubbed Helix pretty good. They hadn't played in 11 years, but man, they played in all those championship games, and Oceanside won a lot of them, but Helix won sometimes as well. But Oceanside was determined tonight in a 41-14 game. Their Oceanside wins. The Highlanders, came in with a little bit of momentum, and they got early. They got a breakaway touchdown, 80 yards from Bryson Callaway. This guy's been stepping up for sure. It looks like a good running back for Helix. He's a sophomore. That tied the score late in the first quarter at 7-7. But Oceanside, even though they were winless, Dave, entering the night, they had played 3 of the top 4 teams in the county. They lost decisively, but still had probably the toughest schedule in the county so far, and they were battle tested here. So they got back-to-back touchdowns in the second quarter, a 1-yard run, and then a Helix turnover on downs late in the first half, set up a quick strike through the air, and the Highlanders trailed 21-7 at halftime. Pirates capitalized on the momentum after that, after the break, adding 3 more touchdowns, 2 on the ground, 1 through the air, as the Highlanders struggled to sustain any drives against Oceanside's defense. But Helix did connect for one second half highlight. Caden Thompson found Jeremy Robinson for a scoring strike early in the fourth quarter, trimming the deficit to 34-14, although Oceanside cemented the win with another passing touchdown. But Callaway was a bright spot here in this one for Helix, but they'll have to regroup here heading into next week's action, and of course into league play, where they're definitely behind the Eagles. I think they're definitely behind the Matadors, and we'll see. I mean, they're right there with the Cougars here at this point, and I'm not sure they're ahead of them at this time.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm trying to figure out what the major issue is. Is it the offense? Is it the quarterback? I mean, Lester Hayes had a pretty good game last week. Is it the defense? I mean, we're having 41 points scored against us. That doesn't tell me that the defense is doing a great job. So I don't know what to say. Helix is this probably is one of their worst teams in quite a few years as far as so far. They could come up and they could get some wins, but they just don't look like the Highlanders or the Scotties of the past at all.
Yeah, so Helix goes down tonight. All right, Dave. Next up, we got another tough one here. Man, Santana came in against Olympian, and they were both undefeated here. And, I was checking out this game early, and I thought it was going to be a competitive game. It looks like Santana was matching up pretty well in this game. What happened?
Hey, I'm going to tell you first and foremost, a lot of drops, a lot of penalties. It was a sloppy game on both sides. Just penalties that shouldn't be happening at this part of the season. Santana's unbeaten start came to an end though Friday night as the Olympian handed the Sultans 35-9 loss in a battle of the 3-0 teams. Now, let's not forget, the coach seemed very, very concerned when he was talking with us last week about Olympian and how they beat Eastlake and that they were undefeated. So he was concerned. Santana opened with the highlight when quarterback Ethan Miller connected to Denton Gore for a 30-yard touchdown pass in the first quarter. Gore spun off his defender to free himself for the score, giving the Sultans a 7-0 lead after a defensive stop that included a sack back at the Eagles.
He juked that guy, period. Denton made him look silly, actually. Made that defender look silly. It was wide open after he spun on that guy.
And the 47-yard line. Olympian answered quickly. See, that was the thing. I was thinking the same thing as you was, hey, Santana can get right back on this thing, and they're going to probably start throwing it at will and using all their receivers, using the running game. Olympian answered quickly at the 15-yard touchdown to tie the game, then added another passing score to go in front 14-7 just before halftime. The Eagles struck again, taking a 21-7 lead into the break. The visitors extended the margin in the third quarter with an interception returned for a touchdown to make it 28-7. Santana's defense forced a safety late in the third, which I had told you I wasn't sure because I was watching the Granite Hills game at the same time. I did, in fact, though, go back, and it was a safety. I think they should have capitalized on that, getting the ball back. Trimming the deficit to 28-9, but Olympian responded one more time with an 11-yard passing touchdown early in the fourth to seal it 35-9. The Sultans, who had won the meeting last year 26-25, they do slip to 3-1 in the season. And I really didn't think, even watching the game, that Olympian was that much better. They were dropping balls. They were overthrowing their receivers. They were both getting several penalties. I don't know what happened to that Santana team that we have been watching for the last 3 weeks. If the defense was tired because the offense wasn't generating their typical touchdowns and putting up the points. So I think the defense was just really tired, and that led to the 35 points that Olympian scored. I guess it's back to the drawing board for the Sultans. But you know what? They lost one. I think that they'll bounce back next week, and I think that they can bounce back and win their next game next week.
Yeah, it's going to be a good game at Fallbrook. It feels like an even game right now. Fallbrook is 1-3, but You already talked about what Fallbrook was like last year. Getting into the playoffs with that weak record, but again, they play kind of a tougher schedule, and they'll be evenly matched. It feels like really with Santana, despite that 1-3 record right now. They beat Escondido, and they've lost to Canyon Springs in an out of section game. They lost to Valley Center in a thriller, and they lost to Imperial. Man, these desert teams are really good this year, man. They're not open division quality, but they might get a team in Division One the way they're going. Some of these teams out here, like Imperial right now, so they'll get a chance next week against Fallbrook.
Are you speaking? So you're speaking of desert teams. So are you heading to Pine Valley next? Is that where the direction you're going?
Now, I want to get a win here in real quick. We just got this one in. I don't really have any details here in this one, but El Cajon Valley went on the road here and picked up a win tonight over Orange Glen here. Impressive for the Braves getting this road win. They look good in a 23-8 victory here in this one. I don't have any of the scoring details to tell you that the Chieftains stopped the Braves from scoring early at the 4-yard line early on, but it was 0-0 at the end of the first quarter. But El Cajon Valley scored a touchdown in the second quarter for a 7-0 lead. Patriots did come back and get a first and goal at the 1-yard line. They ran it in, took an 8-7 lead with just 25 seconds left in the second half. But El Cajon Valley did the job there in the second half and outscored them 16-0. So great job by the Braves. We'll get some better information in the morning, possibly. Would love to hear from the Braves after their first win of the season. And I said they had to win one of these non-league games, and they finally did, knocking off Orange Glen.
Yeah, and I believe you, sir, picked Orange Glen in this game, and I think our good friend PJ, i.e. Vanilla Gorilla, decided that he was wondering why you were going against El Cajon Valley,
Right?
And I had 2 years as a Brave myself, so I got a little love for the Braves, but I think they were due, and I think that even a couple of those other games, they started off great, but this time they finally finished it off, and I thought they were definitely going to be better than Orange Glen, and hats off to the Braves. I think that's great, and they win next week, and hey, that's a good start before league,
Mm-hmm.
So, looking forward to El Cajon Valley putting back-to-back wins together, and it's a good possibility.
Yeah, for sure. Great job by the Braves. Like I said, we didn't have a lot of wins here tonight, but we did get the Braves to bring one home. All right, Dave, you want to get into the Mountain Empire Redhawks? So why don't we? Was one of the best games of the night, even though it was a defeat here, first loss of the season for Mountain Empire, as the San Ysidro Cougars won it 27-19 at home over Mountain Empire. They did get their first loss of the season, but a pretty good game tonight down there at San Ysidro. They made the drive from Pine Valley, but came up just a bit short.
Yeah, I believe when Coach Van was coaching them, maybe the second year, or it may have been our first year together in 2017, I actually went down to San Ysidro to cover the Red Hawks. They were red hot at that time as well, and they played San Ysidro quite a few times. And with Coach Keller, from which you told me, by the way, I did let Vic know, our staff photographer, to go down there and have a little chat with the coach and kind of see what photos we could get. So look for these photos from Vic Morano. He did attend that game, and as he promised, he said, I'd be more than happy to go down to San Ysidro. But Mountain Empire's bid for its first 4-0 start since 2011, and that's even before I was doing this, came up just short Friday night as the Redhawks fell to San Ysidro 27-19 in a hard-fought non-league contest. Mountain Empire 3-1 battle back after trailing 21-7 in the first quarter, but a pair of missed extra points and a late Cougar touchdown. You know, those those missed extra points, those can really have a bad effect later on in the game. Anyhow, proved to be the difference. San Ysidro 2-2 opened the scoring early with a touchdown pass to take a 7-0 lead. The Redhawks answered when running back number 28 powered in from 3 yards, tying the game with just under 6 minutes left in the opening period. Cougars surged ahead with back-to-back rushing touchdowns, including a short run in the final minute of the quarter and a 3-yard score midway through to stretch the lead to 21-7. Well, Mountain Empire responded before the quarter closed as number 32 broke free for an 18-yard rushing touchdown, trimming the deficit to 21-13. After the extra point attempt was missed, like we said, those points, they can come and they can bite you. I saw a lot of missed field goals actually tonight and extra points. I don't know what's going on with the kicking game this season, but there's been quite a few misses. At any rate, the defense is settled in over the next 2 quarters, but San Ysidro added insurance in the fourth with a 2-yard touchdown run. Cougars also missed the PAT. I guess, like I said, there must be something going on. We needed to get some more practice with our kickers because, you get to the playoffs, I don't care, or the tournament that they have themselves, but led 27-13 under 8 minutes remaining. Redhawks, of course, this season refused to fold. With time winding down, number 7 capped a late drive with a 2-yard score, pulling Mountain Empire within 8. But Cougars recovered the ensuing kickoff and ran out the clock to seal the win. Despite the loss, Mountain Empire showed resilience, and they have all season showed resilience. 2-yard touchdown deficit on the road. The Redhawks look to regroup next week as they aim to continue their best start in over a decade.
Yeah, number 28, Elisha has shown. LaShawn Robinson had that first score in there. And then, of course, Amar Mahassan had the 18-yard rushing touchdown that trimmed that deficit there. And then later on, it was Chance Ross with that 2-yard score for the Cougars, for the Redhawks. So a tough one there to go on the road against San Ysidro, but they're still looking pretty good here with that 3-1 start. Far road trip here coming from Pine Valley down close to the border. All right. Got a few more here. We'll wrap it up here on the show. Thanks, everybody, for joining us here on the post-game show. Was La Jolla tonight. I think it was 40 to 28. I'm still getting some information maybe on this game tonight. Grossmont, they trailed in this one, Dave, 20-0 early on here, and then did get 8 points. They capitalized here on a short run to close it that time to 20-8 with 5:24 left in the first half. So look, they were down early there, but did get that touchdown run and 2-point conversion. It was actually Grossmont's defense that provided a little bit of a spark when Drew Cesena intercepted a pass after some pressure. They hit the quarterback, and the ball just kind of went straight up in the air. I think Cesena was the one that pulled it down. The Foothillers then got a 4-yard touchdown run by AJ Hooker, and then the 2-point conversion is what made it 20-8 with 5:24 left in the first half. But by halftime, La Jolla had that lead. Grossmont continued to chip away, and the Vikings led just 27-20 late in the third quarter. The Foothillers actually took the lead 28-27 with under 6 minutes to play. I wish I had the scoring on this one because it sounds like it was a lot closer than the score indicated. La Jolla answered quickly, retaking the lead with a touchdown drive under the 4-minute mark to play, and then the Vikings sealed the win with another score in the closing minutes. The Vikings improved to 3-1. Grossmont, which had a bye, are 2-1.
Yeah, they like you said, and I did get a confirmation from Coach Lawrence. It was 40-28, and like you said, AJ Hooker, Corbin Dow, and Tyler Holmes all had rushing touchdowns. So the quarterback also, and Drew Sasena had a pick, and he wasn't too sure about the rest. So I'm hoping that he'll send you the full statistics on this game. But I mean, was this team really that much better than Grossmont? I don't think so. I did pick La Jolla, however, but it looks like they stayed in the game and they were leading. So I still think that Grossmont is one of those teams to beat. Monte Vista's right there, but I think Grossmont's right behind them, to be quite honest, in that valley. And I'm sure you agree, too, for the team that said that they weren't going to be very good this year.
Right. But yeah, and look, maybe it is, Grossmont and Monte Vista right now running 1-2. But look, let's cover another one here right now with West Hills. They lost tonight in a thriller, man. More score in the final 30 seconds of the game here, Dave, to pull it off at home. West Hills came within seconds of its first win, but fell just short, 19-16. The Wolfpack struck first when Christian Slahowski converted a 44-yard field goal. Our friend, the left-footed boot, with 7:39 left in the first quarter, was 3-0. But Morris answered later with a big pass down the 4-yard line and finished the drive with a rushing touchdown and extra point for a 7-3 lead. West Hills appeared to Dave to retake the lead early in the second quarter. They drove down to the 5-yard line behind 5 consecutive strong runs. They were moving down the field, pushing Morris aside. And guess what, Dave? They were about to go in and score, but you know what happened? They fumbled at the goal line again, resulting in a touchback. It's like a replay of that last. They had that happen to them recently. So it was second time, I think, in the last week or two or three weeks that has happened to West Hills. So they did trail 7-3 at halftime. The game stayed tight until late in the game, actually. Morse broke through with a late touchdown pass. West Hills, I think, blocked the point after, or it was no good. But the Wolfpack's rally attempt ended. I didn't get quite the last score there, but 19-16 was the final. West Hills falls to 0-4, and Morris improves to 2-2.
And I think West Hills still has the better team, even with the record and who Moore's played. I think West Hills has played a lot more talented teams. And don't let the record fool you. It's kind of like the Fallbrook situation in when they played Monte Vista. I think West Hills has the defense and they have the offense. I just don't know if they need to tighten up the mistakes. They cannot make the mistakes against these teams that they're playing against. And I think if they would have played mistake-free ball, they would have beaten Morse. They would have gotten the field goal possibly and gone into overtime and possibly won the game. So I don't think West Hills, I don't think their record really tells the story of how good they are. But it is time to start panicking a little bit. I mean, we're not playing league yet, but we have to get one of these wins in this non-league play. Next week is a must win.
Yeah, I thought they would beat Morse this week, Dave. I really did. So that's a little bit of a tough one to swallow here going on the road. And, they lost a game I think they are supposed to win. But they do have a bye next week, and then they'll host, guess who? The El Capitan Vaqueros for the Burner Trophy. So in 2 weeks, we'll have that perpetual trophy matchup in honor of Tony Burner. Okay, a couple more, Dave, and I'll get you out of here. Thanks a lot for getting our Monarchs there tonight. Ramona
Oh boy.
handled, it was Ramona all over Valhalla here tonight in this one in a non-league game. Ramona's pretty decent, of course, so couldn't really get things going in this one tonight. Don't have much going here with the highlights, but the Bulldogs struck quickly with a 34-yard touchdown pass in the opening quarter, then attacked on another score late in the first period to make it 14-0. It was 25 more points in the second quarter, so they went on to crush them here tonight, 42-0 there in Ramona. All right, one more here. It was Victory Christian beat Foothills Christian 28-6 here in a Sunset League game as Foothills Christian falls to 0-2 here right now. Jack Sudi opened the scoring with a rushing touchdown late in the first quarter, but the missed point opened the door, and Victory Christian answered immediately with a kickoff return for a touchdown, and then the visitors controlled the game from there at Sayal Field, pounding the ball on the ground with 3 more rushing touchdowns in the second quarter for a 28-6 halftime lead there. So Foothills falls to 0-2 in the Sunset League, and Victory Christian earns its first win of the season, a league win there, 28-6. All right, Dave, thanks a lot. Great job. We'll be back next week with our picks and previews, and then we'll recap the action from week 5. But thank you to our sponsors, and thanks for getting the Monarchs. That was fun.
Yeah, I was hoping we'd get that bus out of the garage once again like we did last week. We kind of got it out, but then...
I might have missed the cue on that. I think we were just happy to get them on the air. Apologize.
Oh, yeah. And then all that good stuff that we had in there, but that's neither here nor there. But it was nice to have the Monarchs on. They're always a pleasure. They always seem to have... They know what they're talking about and playing both ways, and they're winners, period. I think, and they got a great leader. Paige Culber's been around forever from what I've seen, and even reading old stories that even my dad had written with Culber at the helm. So go Monarchs. I mean, I think they, a small school like that doesn't get as many kids, just like Elkhorn Valley, and guess what? They both won. So it's kind of nice to see the smaller schools getting the wins, and the big boys taking one in the chin.
Hopefully we'll have more wins next week.
Well, I think that it doesn't get any easier. Granite Hills has a playoff game every week. And then hopefully, since it's going to be televised, I'm hoping Helix pulls out a miracle. And like you said, we have a bye for West Hills. And I think that's going to serve them well. I think at this point, get them a little healed up. Maybe they're a little beat up right now. And then Elkhorn Valley maybe get another win. Santana bounce back, and I'm telling you, I'm calling it. El Capitan and Monte Vista is going to be the game of the week.
It does seem like it's going to be a pretty awesome game for sure. We got a great card of games next week, so make sure you join us here on the East County prep football report and then the post-game show next week. We'll try to hook up with some more winners here next week, Dave. That's what we'll try to do, get them on the bus, get those wins here next Friday night. Some of the best matchups from the East County next week include, Dave, here, Mount Miguel at Poway. Granite Hills goes up to Los Alamitos for a road trip. Doesn't sound easy. Los Alamitos will be 5-0 coming into that game. Grossmont goes to take on Otay Ranch. Steel Canyon and Valhalla will meet for the Hamishaw helmet. You mentioned that Monte Vista El Cap. You mentioned Cathedral and Helix. At least Helix, I think, is at home in that one. Castle Park and El Cajon. El Cajon gets another chance to win a second game. And Christian plays old-time rival Santa Fe Christian at Valley Stadium, and that's going to be an awesome game because Santa Fe Christian is 4-0. We have them ranked pretty high. They're actually 22nd in the ratings. I think we have them higher, so that'll be a tough game for Christian.
Well, I think they needed to have a week off. The last two games have I just didn't expect that to happen. Back-to-back losses. It's not something that I expected from that program. But hey, you won all those games and you won in that league, and they had to move you up. And when they move you up, you got more talent to play against, and that's just going to test how good you really are. So hopefully they regroup and they give us a W next week as well.
All right, great job, Dave. We'll catch you guys next week for more East County Prep Football.
All right.